From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 10th, 2023. Rockets were fired at northern Israel this weekend from Syria. Saturday night, the IDF said 3 rockets were launched from Syrian territory toward Israel. 2 of them crossed into Israeli territory. 1 of them was intercepted by the IDF aerial defense array. A few hours later, around 3 a.m. local time Sunday in Israel, 3 launches from Syrian territory towards Israel were identified, the IDF said, of which 2 crossed into Israeli territory. 1 was intercepted by the air defense fighters, and the other fell in an open area. There were no injuries. In response, the IDF said it used a remotely manned aircraft on the launchers in Syria from which the shots were fired, and IDF warplanes attacked targets in Syrian territory, including a military compound. On Friday night, an Italian tourist was killed and 7 others injured in what is believed to have been a terror attack in Tel Aviv. The incident took place on a promenade and park where the suspected terrorist, said to be an Arab Israeli, drove his car at high speed into pedestrians. Israel police saying as a result of the car ramming, a 36-year-old foreigner, later identified as Alessandro Perini, was pronounced dead at the scene, and 7 others, also said to be tourists, were lightly injured. The driver's car flipped over after he hit the pedestrians, and police said when they approached it, it appeared that he tried to reach for a weapon, and they opened fire, killing him. This attack followed a terror attack earlier on Friday, which we reported to you about, in which 2 Israeli sisters were shot and killed by a Palestinian terrorist in the Jordan Valley in the West Bank. They were later named as dual Israeli-British citizens, 20-year-old Maya D. and 15-year-old Rina D., who were laid to rest yesterday, thousands gathering to mourn and pay their respects. And today, sadly, their mother, who was critically injured in the same attack, died from her injuries. 48-year-old Lucy D. will be laid to rest tomorrow. Her organs donated, her family said, to help others. A manhunt continues for the terrorist. The U.S. issued strong condemnations Friday of the attacks in Tel Aviv and the West Bank and wrote, "We extend our deepest condolences to the victims' families and loved ones and wish a full recovery to the injured. The horrific attacks," the State Department wrote, "affected citizens of Israel, Italy, and the United Kingdom. The targeting of innocent civilians of any nationality is unconscionable. The United States stands with the government and people of Israel. We are in close contact with our Israeli partners and reaffirm our enduring commitment to their security." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the Israeli public tonight on the security situation in the country, firstly sharing his deepest condolences to the families of the terror victims and vowing that those responsible for the deadly attacks would be brought to justice. Netanyahu also said that Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, who he had fired a few weeks ago, will remain in his post. Well, some 15,000 worshippers gathered yesterday at the Kotel, the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City, to take part in the traditional Birkat HaKohanim, the priestly blessing, which takes place during the intermediary days of Passover, as well as during the Sukkot and Shavuot holidays. Prayers offered including for the terror victims, as well as a special prayer at the end of the service for the unity of the Jewish nation. The Western Wall Heritage Foundation wrote Rabbi Shmuel Rabinowitz, the rabbi of the Western Wall and holy sites, noted that Birkat HaKohanim, the priestly blessing, ends with the words, "and grant you peace." Peace in and out of your home, he said, particularly timely nowadays. From the unifying site of the Western Wall, we call and pray for unity at home, for the unity of the Jewish nation as one person with one heart. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, April the 10th at 7 o'clock. It's episode 9 of the hit Israeli TV series Srugim. At 7:40, a look at Passover traditions. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with Naomi Seidman to discuss Heretic in the House, her new podcast that explores how those who have left Orthodox communities see themselves and what their journeys can reveal about belonging, otherness, and more. At 8:30, Central Synagogue's Rabbi Angela Buchdahl speaks with Simranjit Singh about anti-Semitism, anti-Asian discrimination, and her role as the first woman to lead New York City's historic Reform Synagogue. At 9, Pam Cohen and Ephraim Kolmiansky discuss the historic struggle of Soviet Jewry with Glenn Richter and Micah Halpern. At 10, remarks from the late Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, I speak with Shayndi Raice, a colleague of Evan Gershkovich, the Jewish journalist who's being held in Russia on false espionage charges, about the initiative she is a part of where Jews around the world set a seat for Gershkovich at their Passover seder tables. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 10th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.